बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज हम CSS एडवांस का कोर्स जो है वो शुरू करने लगे हैं। तो CSS बिगनर्स का कोर्स हमने इससे पहले किया था, CSS बिगनर्स देखी थी, और वो भी कंप्लीट कोर्स जो है वो भी इंग्लिश में था। कंप्लीट लेक्चर्स इंग्लिश में थे। इसके भी कंप्लीट लेक्चर्स इंग्लिश में होंगे क्योंकि CSS एडवांस और बिगनर जो है वो इंग्लिश में रिकॉर्ड मैंने करनी है। तो आ जाए तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। So this is the course, basically advanced CSS course. This course for those who have a good skills in CSS, and in this course we learn a lot of advanced things. After watching this, I hope you will completely change your views relating the web designing. So we only guide you how to think like a designer, but always it's up to you how you will take it. So keep practice more, much more, so you will be easily learn. And if you are new, this course is not for you. So I suggest you, before watching this video, go to my YouTube channel and watch a CSS for beginners video and then start to learn this series. So this is not for you basically if you are new here. So please go to my YouTube channel and first watch the CSS beginners and then come over this video and learn this section. So the next thing is what we are going to learn. So what we are going to learn today, so this is the index. First of all, we have learned the CSS pseudo classes, then CSS pseudo elements, add the rules, modules, rounded corners, border images, multi backgrounds, colors, gradients, shadows, text, 2D transforms, 3D transforms, animation. The most, this lecture is the most amazing in the CSS. Without jQuery, CSS3 gives you this opportunity to use animations in your web pages and make your web pages more responsive, more relatively, and more beautiful. This is the user interface again, and responsive. So now I start. Short introduction about the normal CSS. So what is exactly CSS? CSS is an abbreviation of the cascading style sheets, so fondly referred to as a CSS is a simply designed language intended to simplify the process of making web pages presentable. So here. And what is the CSS syntax? Selector, property, and a value. So a selector may be HTML tag or a defined class or a defined ID. So property, a type of attribute of HTML tag that could be color, border, etc. So a value are assigned to a property. So this is the basic syntax of CSS. And here we start the advanced CSS. So the CSS pseudo classes. What is the pseudo classes? Pseudo classes are used to add special effects to some selectors. You do not need to use JavaScript or any other script to use those effects. So a simple syntax of pseudo classes is as follows. The number one thing is selector. It must be a selector. Pseudo classes, then a pseudo class, the property, and every property has a value. And the classes can be also used with the pseudo classes. Normal classes can be used with the pseudo classes, special effects used for using the special effects. So selector, then dot class, pseudo class, property, value, then property, and assign a value to a property. So the second thing, it's a most common pseudo classes, and after this slide we are going to practice and we are going to take a demo. So most common classes, number one is a link, number two is a visited, number three hover, active, focus, and first child. So these all are the important pseudo special classes or pseudo by defined classes we can use in our web pages. So here we're going to take an introduction. I have set it the demo for this lecture. So the pseudo class, and this one the link. So basically link is used to modify a link and apply some special effect to link, or as just a definition small that use this class to add a special style to unvisited links. So link used for unvisited. So how it's work I have just shown you. So I have just set this one, it's a pseudo class a link. I have just this on uncomment selection toggle block on uncomment, and before this I have just shown you. Okay, first of all I have just cut this one and show you how it's a look like now. And here we go. I have just clicked this one, browser, Mozilla Firefox, and you will see the by default color is a blue. And so now I change this color by using the link. So going here and add a style anchor, and after anchor I apply this link for unvisited and it's color to the black. It's a black link, and now you will see the link change color automatically and it's a black. But when I just click on this, so this link defined as a visited, so this change the visited color by default. So I just click here and you will see it's a light purple color, just change color because it's a visited color. And now I refresh this, but it can't be changed. Why? Because now it's a visited link. So you will see here the color cannot change here because it's a visited link. So this is our example of a visited link. And the second thing is that it's a visited, so use the class and special for the visited. And if I have just comment this one selection toggle, and this is the visited link. So I have just, and you will see now the reflector, sorry, the toggle clock here. I have saved this, and now you will see the link color is green because it's a visited link. The green color is here. So why it's a visited? So in our previous example I have just clicked on link, so now it's a visited, shows visited always. So for this I've just go to here and my option previous setting, and I've just stored cache and just clear cache from here. And also I have just destroyed the history, and now I just click again and you will see here it shows on blue by default, and this is not the visited link here. But when I just click the link, so it changed color not to the light purple as in our previous example we are just shown. I have shown in your previous in the previous example. So it changed color to the green because it applies this type of style special effect on our visited link. So I've just clicked here and you will see here the link of this color is green. So this is the visited link demo. I have just comment this one, selection toggle block comment. And the third one is it's a hover. Use this class to add a special style to element when you move mouse over it. So, and we are just see how it's work. It's a class, and I have just used just a little change about here. You will see here the visited anchor and then the colon and visited, and anchor the colon is a link, and anchor the cover colon and a hover, and class is this, and this is I think the color yellow. Okay, so I've just saved this and just click here and you will see the bring mouse here and you will see that's really very nice. And when we are just use this class in our website, so it's a more beautiful, looks more beautiful and more professional here. It's not recommended to use always in your website on the links by the hover, but it's change their color also change the mouse pointer. You will see here we are just learned about in my previous CSS classes, so in beginner classes. So this is by default. So you can change, you can also modify this class is not show in hand or in other. You will just choose on your you will want to you choose. So sorry for this. And this is the example of the hover class, and just I have toggle. So guys, you will see here, and you will just copy paste here if you want. I have just share this all the classes and all the lectures sheets with you, and I have just uploaded on my drive, Google Drive, so you can easily download from there. And now it's the second thing is active. Use the active class, use class special for the active elements. So I have just shown you how it's works. So it's active here, and now you will see here the class is this, and when I just click, you will see I move over, it's not changed, and I just click, it not change. But when I press click on this, and by pressing the click, it changed color. And now I release my click, so you will see I released, I clicked release. So that's called the active class. So again is the focus. Use this class to add special styled elements of focus. As usual, this is a normal paragraph or define, so you will see. So it's not a big thing that I just copied from the Google, so that's why it's the same thing. Use this for element, use this for a special style to add or something, blah blah blah. So here is the focus. And what is the focus? We are just click this link and you will see the what is the focus. So we are just going here, and we are just, and you will see here the focus, and I have just clicked outside, it changed. I have just clicked here, and you will see it's changed color. I have just changed color to like as a blue. So FF0004 times 0. Oh, sorry. And so here, and now you will see the link color is by default. I clicked, and you will see it's a black. But when I click to another element in this side of element, empty element, so it's change color automatically, because the focus on focus now this area of my mouse. So this is called the focus. When I clicked here, this link color change because it's now I focus on this click just. But when I just trying to click another side, so it's change color. So this is called the focus. And the last one, the first child. Yeah, they use this class to add special styles to element that is the first child of some other element. So okay, so here I have just set example for you, and I have just comment this one and this. Now I have just add special class. So you will see here the first, and I will show you. Just click here, and just I will show you that is a first child. Yeah, it's a div, and the P is a child class of div, and inside the paragraph the first child, and apply this text indent on my first child of paragraph. So this is the first paragraph in the div, the second paragraph in div, and the third paragraph. This is heading and paragraph div not be affected. So now I have just saved, and you will see here the example. You will see here the example. Text indent and apply only the first class, first paragraph in the div. So you will see the first line of this paragraph inside the div. This will be indented. And if we are just change the color of this first child, so you will just share, you will just change the color by using the color property, and after this just you select a color like as a ff0000, and now you will see it's only effective on the first line of this paragraph, not to the all. So this is the child, or called the first child of element. So here is the example, and now move another class. And here is some important points of the pseudo classes. So while defining the pseudo classes style block, the following points should be noted. Anchor after hover. A hover must become after a link and a visited. So in the CSS definition, in order to be effective, otherwise it can't be work, or it doesn't work. So this is a basic class points or important points. Active must become after hover in the CSS definition in order to be effective, and the pseudo classes names are not case sensitive. Pseudo classes are different from the CSS classes, but they can be combined. So here points, these points should be noted before using the pseudo classes inside the cascading style sheet. And the pseudo classes usage are this link, the visited, the hover, anchor, focus, and the first child of. And we already take an introduction, and we already see how it's work. So now is the second thing is pseudo classes, not pseudo classes, pseudo elements. So CSS pseudo elements are used to add special effects to some selectors. So you do not need to use a JavaScript or any other script to use those effects. So a simple syntax of pseudo elements following, like as we just see in a pseudo classes, as something selector and the class. So here's also something, the selector, then element and a property, and assign a value to the property. Pseudo classes can be used with the pseudo elements exactly. So the selector dot pseudo class, and then pseudo elements, and then be property and assign a value to the property. So the most commonly used pseudo elements are as follow. As a first line, use this element to add a special effect to the first line of text in selectors, and the first letter used to this element to add a special style to the first letter of the text in selectors. Before insert some content before the element, and after insert some content after an element. So here are the usage of the first line pseudo element, the second line. So now we are just move our pseudo classes and pseudo elements. So here in the example, we are just going in, open inside this one, and now I will show you the first line element. So I have just uncommented this selection, and I uncomment, and now you will see this is the P as the paragraph. First line is a text decoration underline, and P the no line, the first line text decoration none. So now I will show you how it's work and what the exactly meaning of this. I have just passed class here the no line, and just used in the first paragraph I've used a pseudo element. So I just click here. First of all, save browser and Mozilla Firefox, and you will see here that in the first line you will see in the first line there's a no line class applied to no line class, and this is not decoration none. And the second line you will see here the decorations text decoration should be set the underline. So that's why the all text are here is underline. So here I will show you in the first line, the first paragraph, I have just select the class no line and define the no line as a text decoration none. So that this class, this is a pseudo class, and when I just use a defined class, so it's overrule the basic rules of CSS and overrule the basic rules of pseudo elements. So this class, the best defined class, is every time much powerful than use pseudo classes or elements. So this is a defined class, and by defined class, I have first line use a text decoration none, and on the first line, okay, so now I have just show now I will going to show you that if I have just scroll or a zoom in this text, and you will see here when it comes to the second line, the text decoration will automatically none. And when I just trying to use this one in the first line, I have just maximized the screen or reset the zoom level by pressing the control and by mousing wheel. So you will see here it applies only the first line, and after the break text and come on the next line, so it can't be applied on this. So this is the basic work, and this is the basic method or usage of the pseudo elements of the first line. Apply only the first line, so CSS can understand that the document or the text of document should be now on the second line come over, so that's why it can't be applied. And when I here the usage of this, and I have just by mistake, exactly here, so that's why the some text or some is shown here. So now I refresh and it's removed. So this is the basic thing, that this is no line class I defined by rule of the defined rule class, so it's overruled the basic structure of CSS, so that's why. And now I have just show you the second selection, and the second thing is the first letter. So the first letter by name, you are understand by default is only apply on the first name. So now we see here I have just uncomment this box and save it, and now I will show you. Okay, the first character of a paragraph is only apply on the first character, so that's why here. And you will see here when I use a class normal, and inside the class normal I have just first letter with the 10 pixels, 10 font size by 10 pixels, and you will see here that the first letter of this normal class also change this F, and the second class here the first letter font size 5 em. So now you will see I will show you I will show you here. Look, the F is a different than other works because the first character of this paragraph, the normal, will have the font size 10 pixels, and this one character is the 5 em. So here is something different, and if I have just show you I have just changed size, so it will only change the size of F, this one, and you will see here it's only size change of this F1. And if I just show you the 50 pixels, so you will see here it only applies on the first. So here is the example of the pseudo element first letter. And the second thing is that the before, the what is the before. So now we are just take a look or take introduction about what is the first one. And I have just set a content here, so you will see a content, and inside the before I have used a content, and by using the URL I have set an image as a bullet.gif. Now you will see here I have just select a bullet type, or so I will show you how it's a work before and after. What is the before and after? So you will see here it's a before here, this is a bullet, but it's by using the before in the first, it's a content, so this is not image, it's a content here. And if I have just used after here, so I hope you are understand that what exactly I'm saying. After mean it come over the row here, so I refresh here, you will see here this is the after, before the line and after the line. So these two elements we are currently using, before and after. So now we are moving another, and this is the CSS add the red rules. So this is an important thing. Just sorry for that, guys. So CSS rule, what is the CSS rule? And in this tutorial we will cover the following important rules. Number one, add the very important. So the add the very important rules imports this and other style sheet into the current style sheet, not the outside from the outside style sheet. So this is the point for just think or for understand. Add the right chart set. So the rule indicates the chart set a style sheet for use. And add the right font face. So the rule indicates that the user defined rule should take the precedence over the author's style sheets or override. So there are add the right rules which we will cover in subsequent in this lecture, in this video basically. And the last one, the important rule, so indicates that the user defined rule should take a precedence over the authors. And the fonts were used font face basically describe a font face for a use in a document here. So you can define your own define or use your own font, on hand-made font basically in your style sheet on your website. So that's why it's used. Important, I have already shown you. So the add the very important rule, first thing we are just see is not here, but import, sorry, add the very important rules allow you to import the styles from the another style sheet. It should appears here. So we are just going to here and just see add the red rules, copy, and we are just open inside here. So just click view here, live mode, and switch view here. So important, I have already told you it should appear right at the start of the style sheet before any of the rules, and it's a value is in a URL must be, so it can be written one way or two ways. So here is I have just show you that this is a rule here, selection by toggle, and I have just so add the red import inside the style, not in the head or not outside. So this is import in other style sheet, and inside you will see here the style.css. So if I just commit this or selection, sorry, you will see no any other thing import from this. And when I just uncomment style sheet or just come over there, because it imports automatically from the library. So you will see here I've just uncomment this, and you will see here the source code, and after source code imports from our library here. So inside this you will see here the my.color is like this or something, and here I used my color. So basically the CSS, this is the CSS Advanced tutorial by Easy IT Solution here, and I will show you the result, so how it's look like. And you will see here by using, so this text color is in blue and text decoration is underlined, and where its color comes from, it's from the my class. I have just defined here class, and here you will see there is no any class here, so it imports from style.css here. So I have just changed color here from here like as a red one and save it, you will see the color should automatically change here from blue to red. So this is the import rule, and inside the style we can easily import a some or other style sheet here. So here is the example for this, and another rule we are just discussed is a chart set. And chart set we are just before defining, I have just show you or something else or a best example, like as if you are writing your document using the character set other than ASCII or ISO by default formats, you might want to set a chart set. So chart set I have shown you, I think in my, yeah, exactly, and it written by default. I didn't write this. If I just click here and open a new CSS file like this, and you will see it's automatically import at the char set by default set at UTF. So at the char set rule at the top of your style sheet indicates that the what character set the style sheets isn't written. So a char set rule must be written the right at the beginning of the style sheet without even the spaces. You will see here on the top of here, so the before the value is held in the quotes should be one or standard character set as example, like as ISO, UTF, ASCII or something else. So there is rule. And the second thing, I've just closed this, and after this one I will show you the class like this. I have just going in selection by toggle this, and now you will see here I just show you the second thing. This is not the font, basically this is a third one thing here. So but first of all I will show you how it's a font face work. So before this I have just set didn't set any example for you, so I have just used this one by default here. So just set a toggle comment, and after this I have used here font face for you. I have just copied this one and paste here, and now I will show you how it's a look, how it's just close HTML. Sorry, white can't work. Okay, so here's what we are just using, and how the font face are work here. So I have just shown, I will show you. First of all, we have just written the font face, and after this, first of all I have created a font family like as font family like this, and define font family. You will write here anything like as I have written anything. I have just set my font family name anything, and source of what is the source of your font. So I have just URL set, and I have already downloaded here the font, I think here, and the font no any font here inside. So I have show you my CSS, no any font here. So first of all we are just download a font from Google here. So just Google it and download the font of any style font. Download font, download font, and you are going here and just download any font you will want to copy or set in your, like this font. If I want to use this font or this font or this font in my CSS, and this font is not basically in my default directory, so I have just download this one from here, just save here, and after save this I have just, but it's a complementary that the font should be in a font TTF format or TFT format, otherwise it can't be worked. So you will hear it's a OTF or it's a TTF, so both are working if you are just set here. I have just show you that just copy this font and paste it to the advanced CSS lecture. Okay, it can't be work, so why? So I have just clicked the HTML, type CSS or advanced lectures, and now I just copied this font here, and it's a Medina.ttf. Okay, that's great. So now I'm going to here and set a URL on my font here. So it's a Medina.ttf. Okay, exactly. And now I set define class like as a font, my font here, and set the font family anything. Sorry. Font family like anything. I have just copy the name of the font family and just paste here, and after this I have set a color here. Okay, so set a color, anything color here, choose a color, or I have just this one. And now you will see I have just used this paragraph, set a define class, and the class is my font, and now it will change to my define font. You will see here I have just used 2 times here. I have just said 2 times here. Just cut this one and here. So by using the font face, we have created our font family, our user defined font family. I have just set a name anything, and you will use anything else or something, my font or else. And after this we have just created a class dot from by using the dot. So it's a defined class, not the ID, and if I have just used ID, I have just put the hash sign, and from here I have changed. First of all, I will show you it can't be work, it's normal, so I have just class from class to ID here, and you will see it works. Okay, so here we are just see the font face, defined font face, how we are using and how to create this from by using the defined URL. So here our defined URL. So now I just select and comment this one. And the third one, our thing is that the font or important. We have already taken introduction about what's import work, what is a char set, what is a font face. Now we are moved to important. So what is the important? Basically cascading style sheet or cascade. So it means that the styles are applied in some order are read by the browser. So the first style applied, then a second, so on. So this is the basic rule of CSS, but the important rule provide a way to make your CSS cascades. It also includes the rules that are so be applied always. So the rule having an important property will always be applied, so no matter where the rule appears of the CSS document. So by using this sign or this important, you will just change the rule of the CSS. So I have just shown you an example, the best example here. I have just saved, and first of all I have just take a rule and just cut it from here. So now you will see the what should color applies on your document. The first paragraph, the CSS defined that it's a P, and second also P is a red color, and in the second paragraph we define the green, and third one we define the cyan. So or we just define the blue here. And now you will think that the text color should be green or should be the red, but it's not right. It colors change from, basically the rule is that apply the last one property on our. So now you will see it's in the blue color. Why it's in blue color? So when CSS document reads from here, so it changed the color from the red, and when it comes to the next line, so it changed color from the red to the green, and when it comes to the third one line, so it changed color from green to the blue, and then apply blue color on your paragraph. But if I just write here the important, not important, so now it skip all these here and just give importance to this color. So now you will see result here, it colors change on green. So by using it not important, this is basically escalation colon by this sign. So this is the sign of the not in programming languages. So the important, that's not important, basically this, but it here is important. So apply the important, so that it's skip or overrule all the basic or all the town size classes here, and just apply this one on our paragraph. So now it's a color, so should be red. So these are the class CSS rules. And after this, the CSS3 introduction. What is the CSS3? So the CSS3 is a really very important thing. It's a filters or the cascading style sheet. CSS is a style is a style sheet language used for the describing the look and formatting of a document written in the markup language. So the CSS3 is the latest standard of the CSS earlier version, CSS2. The main difference between CSS2 and CSS3 is as follows. So the media and queries, namespaces, selectors, level 3, and colors. So basic example or the basic the difference in between CSS2 and CSS3. These are the basic. And now CSS3 module. So the sum of the modules shown below: the selectors one, the box models, backgrounds, image, value, and replace content, and the text effects, 2D transformations, 3D transformations, animations, multiple columns layout, and user interface. So here is the module of 3D CSS3 modules. Now we are just use a first type of our module, and it's rounded corners. So the following table shows you the possible value of the rounded corners is under, and now we are just see the rounded colors, and now we are just see the example here, and we are just going CSS Advance and just select the rounded corners, and go to inside here. I have just show you will show here also, but I will show you separate here. So just click the live section and just click the code here. So it's a rounded corner. So being a name is a rounded corner, your guys is really very the intelligent. So you just guess what is the rounded corners here and how it's a work. So it's about the rounded corners. And I will show you the result of the rounded corners. What the rounded corners here. Just going to, sorry for inconvenience, go to browsers here, and you will see here the rounded corner box filled with the colors, the rounded corner only border color, the rounded corners with image. And you will see here in this last one. Now you will see here I have used the 3 classes. Basically I have set a 3 paragraph. The first one is R corners 1, and second I have just user defined ID is a round corners 2, and third one is a round corner. So now you will see here the first one, in the first one ID I have just border radius with the 15 pixels. I have to change background color like this. I have just given a padding of the 20 pixels, width of 200 high. 200 pixels and height is 150 pixels, and inside the rounded. So you will see here it's filled with color here because I have just set it color this one. And if I just change here color from background from here, and now you will see here the color picker, and I have just set this color. So now you will see result. I have just saved this and refresh. So you will see here it's changed color. So in the second one I have border radius from 15 to 25, so it's a more rounded corners are you know, and this inside this is a more rounded corner instead of this first border. I'm very sorry for this. So this one is a 15 pixels rounded corner this basically box has, and the second one has a 25 pixels rounded corners here. And if I have just down here, so or just check the 5 here, so you will see the all corners are just a 5 pixels corner rounded. So this is the basic, but the rounded border radius basically we are just showing here in the our second is a border corner, or sorry, it's a rounded corners. So if we are just take a look here, the border corners used for setting 4 borders radius property basically, but a border top left radius is used for the setting border of the top left corner, top left corner. It means this one. If we are just we are just corner this side only, then we are using this. Basically we have to use this a border top left radius and border top and left radius. So this corner will be affected only for this property, and this is a top right radius border, so it's always effective this corner, and the bottom right this corner, and left bottom, so this corner. So I will show you in our third one radius basically here. So I have just set a property here top left, and this property is for the right top, and this is for the bottom right, and this is for the left bottom here. So I have used this background for the pepper.gif as an image and set the position of the left top, and no repeat. I have used background repeat, no repeat. It means the no repeat image, repetition of image padding, only the 20 pixels. I have set it in all boxes just 20 pixel. Set the width of the 200 of the all 3 divs or 3 paragraphs, and inside the div. But in this third one ID basically paragraph, I have used the 4 rounded corners here, and the different round. The first one is left side is 35, then 20, then 50, and then 10. And now you will see result inside it. You just take a look at very clearly that its corner for 35, and this is the as compared to this is a less corner. So this is a 15 or 25, I think it's a 20, and this is a more rounded, so it's a 50 as compared to this one is a 50 pixels round corner, and this is a very small rounded corner, so it's I think it's a 10. So now if I just change here from 10 to like as 10 to 70 pixels, let's suppose, so this property only effective, this value is affected only this side, and not for the 4 sides. You will see here only affect this size. But if I just write the border radius, so this property will affect the 4 sided equally. I have like just give you 50 pixels, so it said, you will see here it said automatically the top left radius 50, right 50, right bottom 50, and left radius bottom 50. So now you will see it's rounded from the four sizes, all from the all sides is rounded equally the 50. So this is the basically rounded corner. So you will see the rounded corners how it's work. And now it's a border image. It's a really very important, the border image. So CSS border image property is used to add images border basically images, border to images. So images border to some element, so you don't need to use any HTML code to call the border image. The most commonly used values are shown below: the border image source, the border image slice, the border image width, and the border image repeat. So now we are just going to see our example and how it's work the border image. So I have already set example for you, the border image. I think here image border. Okay, so I will show you inside here, and now I will just take a look of the border image. So here are the three basically different values, and now you will see is a border image. So how to set image as a border on your element. So it's a really very important, and now you will see here that I have set the equally 3 paragraphs. Basically this is the image border example, and the first one I have just set it border as a solid transparent, and the second one I have just set it again the solid and transparent, and third one I have just set it the solid transparent. I have just added a 15 pixels of padding, and but the difference, the border image source basically and the border image slice or something else, so border image width. Or so here I have just used a p dot. So I have just set this image basically copy here from, I will show you the border image is a bf, so you will show you this border. This is a very large border here I have just downloaded from the Google. So but here is a different, I have just set a border image slice with the 30 pixels and border image width is a 10 pixels here. Basically the game is only the border image width. I have just show you that how it's a work. So if I set it the border image with 10, so it's a very small here and it looks like really very nice. But if I've just set it the 20 pixels, so you will see is a most fat, and the size of your content is less than as compared to this one. And when I just set the 30 and it's overcome your text and it's not looks like a really nice. But when I just use a slice here, if I just set here 10, so you will see here it's a fat, it's a fat one, and it's now looks like as more fat. So if just I set here the 5 pixels, so you will see here this image effective basically, and it's a fade, and it's a not look like, you know, it's image you're really too fat. So that's why. So I have just set it the property of like as a 30 here, and now it looks like border. And if I just 50, so you will see here it's more complicated and just compress the image. So that's why. So here's thing is the image border, how we are just use image source here, repeated round or anything else, like as I have just shown you, it's a repeat round or a space. If I use the repeat property as a space, so you will see here it spaces in between the borders, you will see here. But if I just use a round, so it's a really very nice to look. So here the more property you can use, you should try in your for your experience in your CSS by using the CSS property in your designing, when you're designing your HTML pages or web pages or websites. So you should just check one by one. I have just shown you, I will just show you, or I've just guide you how it's a work, but it's up to you, again up to you how you will take it to learn. So now I move to my another slide here, CSS multi background. So multi background, what is the multi background? CSS multi background property is used to add one or more images at the time without HTML code. So we can add images as per our requirements. Yeah, it's a really very nice. And the most common value are shown here below is the background, the background clip, image, background origin, and the background size. So I will show you an example, and it's an image border, not image border, is a multi background here. So I have just opened inside this, and now you will see here it's a border image. What is the border image and what is the border background image? I've just used the two different type of the images. First is my logo, and second thing is a pepper. So I've just show you how it's a work. And what is this? A multiple background. I said multiple background. Inside I use the H1 heading 1. Then inside the paragraph I've just written this paragraph. What is the background size I've used for the two, and padding for all. So now I will show you how it's work, and you will see here basically there is two images here, the first one and the second one. I have just show you this is a text, and in this background basically image background pepper.gif, and this is also I have used an image of my logo. So I have used this one. So now the work is here. The logo is about to the 150 pixels. Background size, basically this size used for this logo, and this size is used for this pepper. So if I've just set a logo then more larger, so I have set a 250 pixels here, and now you will see it applies only from our logo here. And if I have just set a 50 here, so you will see it compress the size of my logo and not for the page. And in the other property, if I set a 700, so you will see here it compress or is a property image width height of my pepper.gif, and pepper.gif is this. So now I will show you example, and you will see here, sorry, it's a 70 pixel 700 pixel here. So you will see now it compressed the size of my page, my background pepper.gif. And if I just use here like as a 400 pixels, so it affects on my page. You'll see here it's a border image is a repeat, so that's why it's repeat by, but this is a line, it is image basically, so it comes, otherwise it's repeated more times here. So if I said here no repeat again, so this property repeat basically used for my logo, and this is used for pepper.gif. And if I said again no repeat property to my pepper.gif, so you will see here my background doesn't repeat many times, so it comes only the one time because its size only the 400 pixels, so it's set the 400 pixel on only one side, and it can't be repeat multiple times, so that's why. So this is the multi background image multi background image here. So now I have just moved my another side, and this is a really very important topic in CSS3 is the colors. So colors has supported the additional color properties as follows. So this is the RGBA, HSL, HSLA, and the opacity. So what is the RGBA? In our previous lecture or HTML, I will show you, I've already guide you or demonstrate you that the RGB is stand for the red, green, blue, and what they stand for A, it's alpha. So RGBA, it means a red, green, blue, and alpha. HSL stand for the huge saturation lightness, and again HSLA is a huge saturation lightness alpha. Opacity is always be alpha, so it's only working for when you're trying to opacity or reduce opacity of images or something else. So this is, so now we are just move the CSS color. So RGBA stands for the red, green, blue and alpha, and it's extension of the CSS2. Alpha specify the opacity of a color. The parameters, a number, a numerical between 0.0 to 1.0. 0.0 it means the 0% opacity, and 1.0 it means 100% opacity. So we can use only the value of opacity in between the 0.0 and 1.0. So a simple syntax of RGBA is shown below. Here is the simple RGBA. The first one is color, so used for the RG red, and second one is used for green, and third one is blue. And this one opacity I have already show you. I already told you that is in between 0.00 to 1.0. It means 0.5 is a 50% opacity of our color, text or something. HSL is a huge, saturation, lightness. So here a huge is a degree on the color wheel, and saturation is lightness. Saturation and lightness are percentage value between 0 to 100%. A simple sample syntax of HSL as shown below. So huge is a 120, basically it's a color wheel, degree of color wheel, and its a saturation is 100% and lightness 100% here. And third one is a CSS color. HSLA stand for huge, saturation and alpha. I've already told you. And the huge, saturation, lightness and alpha is again in between the 0.00 and 1.0. opacity is the thinner points. Pants need to black added to increase opacity. Sample syntax of opacity shown below here. RGB, and after this we are just use opacity here. So here is a simple you know, the examples of this. So now I will show you how it work. So I have just closed this window here, and after this I go to HTML CSS Advanced lecture, and now I set this one inside my color box, and you will see here it's a really very example of the RGBA. So I will show you how it basically works. So I have set it a 3 paragraph, basically 3 paragraph here. In the first paragraph I have written the red, in the second one I have just set a green, and third one I have blue. So I have just select a background color as a R, G and B. So you will see here in the red color we have set at the 255, the full property of the red color. We have set green 0, blue 0, and set at the alpha 0.3 opacity. So it means a 30% opacity of this paragraph. And second one we have just set the red off, green 255 is a maximum limit, and blue is 0 and 0.6 opacity, set opacity of the second paragraph. And third one you will see here the 40% opacity, and we have just set the green or red off, green off, and blue 255 a maximum color code. So I have just show you that how it's look like. So you will see here and you will understand. Now you will see here in our red line, you will see here, you will see here our background color is a 255. It means red, but with the opacity of the opacity of 0.3. But if I just set here 1.0, so now how it look like, it's a color full with the color of the red, you will see here without opacity. So alpha means the 0, 0 means that no opacity, and 1% opacity, or 3% or 7%, you will see here 7% opacity. So it's lighter than a blue at 6%, green of 0.6, and blue is 0.4%. So here is an example of the RGBA. And now I will show you here that I have just commented this one, and this is the example of HSL. So first one I have told you is a degree of wheel, color wheel, and it's a saturation 100%, and it's a lightness 100%. So how it looks like, so I will show you. So sorry for this late one. So I will just show you the how it's work here. And sorry, I will just show you how it looks like. So 120 means the degree, 120 degree of the color, it's a green, and if just I said a 0 degree, so it should be a red color here, so you will see. And if I said a 255 degree, it's a blue one here, blue here, and 360 degrees is a completely, oh sorry, 255 is the last one, so blue. So it's a degree, it's a 120 for the red color, and here you will see the saturation 100%, but opacity of lightness a 50%, 75%, and a 25% here. So I will show you the green, normal green and dark green here. So I have set this one, this property again here, and you will see here example of HPA. So I will just copy here, sorry, I will just paste here. Okay, okay, so now you will see here the result is a green with a 50% of your lightness, and it's a normal green 75%, dark green is a 25%, and if I just set here a 95%, so you will see it should more light here or no value to just see. It's 95%, it's really very, you know, so I have just set 85% here, just like to show you, and you will see it's a more lighter than previous. So here is it's used for the your opacity or its lightness, and this is for your saturation. If I've just set here the 50%, so you will see result what it come result. It's a lighter green already. Saturation, it means the saturation of your colors will be reduced here, so it should be 100% here. So this is the example of HSL color here, and now you will see here the HSLA. So what is the HSLA? I've show you it's again the opacity of your colors, not a lightness, it's opacity of your color. So I will guide you here. I'll just comment this one. So I will just uncommit this for and now you will see the add the opacity in our previous color coding. This is the less opacity green, this is the green, this is also green. So you will see they're only add the opacity, but if just I remove this one, you will see the results are same here. Before we are that this will be automatically green, this is light green, and this will be the dark green here. So the same thing is here, but by using the opacity it's more lighter or opacity or use of this. So this is the example of our colors like this, and if we are just using here without RGB color, using without opacity, so we are just write the RGB without alpha and opacity after the color. We set the opacity of this color here. So now we are just take a look here, so red, green and blue here, and after this we are just set here. If we are just trying, I will show you without opacity. So and what is the difference RGBA and this one? what is the main difference? So the main difference that this opacity applies the all paragraph, like as a red. This text should be effective by using this opacity, and you will see here the result. I will show you the first one. You will see here also the red text is opacity. Now you will see here it's HSLA colors, not HSLA colors, RGB and opacity. So, and if just I remove this here, and now you will see it doesn't opacity of the set or the red or this text, my text. So if I use RGBA like this one, and now I will just show you 0.6 opacity, so it affect only this paragraph, the color of my paragraph, not effective on the text. So this is the main difference when I'm using RGB and opacity after the using of my site. So this opacity basically affect the all of text or all of the content inside your paragraph, inside your div or anything else. So that's why, that's the main difference, and that's the main reason, you know. So now we will move here the opacity. We are just, and this is the gradients. So this is a really very important topic, you know. Just so the gradients, what is gradient? Gradients displays the combination of two or more colors. And what's the types of gradients? The linear gradients, and the property of linear gradients is a down, up, left, right, and diagonally. What is the linear gradients? Linear gradients are used to arrange two or more colors in a linear format, like a top to bottom, left to right, and diagonal, the multicolors. So after this we are just use a linear gradient, and linear gradient are used to arrange two or more colors in a linear format, like as a top to bottom, left to right, diagonal, or multicolor. So inside the linear gradient, sorry. So I will just show you a best example for this. Okay, so you will see here is an example of the top to bottom gradient. So gradient, how it's work, I have just show you set example for you. So here I have just set example. The WebKit is a Mozilla for as a linear gradient is a journal standard. WebKit is a use for like as a for the Opera or a Safari. I think is a use for MS Office or Microsoft or something else, or it's also standard most for only Mozilla or something else. So these basically are the gradient we are used in our website for. So we don't know that the what exactly user our website open or access our website, which type of browser. So these four formats are standard type or standard format, but only one can work easily. So I will show you how. So first of all I show you the gradient, and you will see here where it shows here is double. So I will show you. It comes from top to bottom, and from top side is a pink, and from bottom side is a green. It's a combination of basically two colors. I've already told you. So the gradient is a combination, and from upper side is pink, and from right side is green. So I've just cut down one by one and see how it's result here. And now we will see it doesn't any matter, or you know. And I've just cut the second line here and show you. So it doesn't doing anything here. I've just cut the Mozilla one, and you will see here it doesn't work here. But if I've just cut this standard size from here, so you will see it doesn't work. It's a working also. Basically it's working for this Mozilla one. And if I have just show you WebKit gradient, sorry, I have just said, and if I've just removed these two lines, so you will see here also it's working. And if I've just cut these three lines, it's also working. So basically these four types you should apply in your websites, and but the recommended by CSS community that you should use these four lines in your website by using. So Safari and some other browser are doesn't mean or work without work for these four lines. So that's why. Okay, so we have shown the example of from top to bottom, and this is from the left to right. Inside this it comes from the top to bottom, not from left to the right. So now we are just set an example from right to left. So here we are just set the from left, right and to right here, and inside this we are just set by default. It's by default from come from top to bottom. So now we are set just property the left, and inside the we are right and right left. Now you will see the result how it's work. So we are just set here, and you will see here, and now I just cut one by one here, and now you will see here it's always be working. And now if I just cut these three lines, you will see it's always be working. So it means it come from the left to the right. It's a right, it's a right, or it's a left. So this is the basic technique of using the left to the right here. So I will just comment this one, and now I will show you a diagonal. What is the diagonal here? So it's a bottom to right, it's a bottom to right, it's a bottom to right, it's left to top here. So gradients is a red or blue, it's a red or blue here. I've just covered this one, and I'll just change a color here. It's a yellow, red, and now you will see here it's also working. I've just copied this one and paste this one, and now you will see it's also working. I'll just paste this and just paste this, and now you will see it's work. So from yellow only one property is also working here, but it's changed from, you know, it's a bottom right, from bottom right to from bottom right. Yellow starts from the bottom right here, and if I want it start from the left top, so I have just saved this, and now you will see start from the left top yellow, and then so this is the technique of use. Just use inside the gradients from the position of your starting position. Set the starting position and set the color type this or a code. I have just used a code for red also. So I have just set the code of red, and you will see it's also red, and this is also blue and red. So this is the basic technique, and this is the multicolor here. I have set the example for you. So now we are going to, it's a red, orange, yellow, red and blue, and the green and the pink. So green having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 colors here. So I will show you how it's work. Now you will see here it's a 1 2 3 4 5 6 colors are. So you will see here it's a red, orange, green, and then red, then blue, then green, then pink. So these all colors inside this. If I will show you after increasing the height by the 700, so you will show here, see the red, then orange, then yellow, then or red, then purple or something else or color. So this is the technique using for the multiple colors, multicolors inside here. And now is a radial gradient. So what is the radial gradient and how it's work? So first of all, we are going here and see the result, and the second thing I will show you the gradients radial. So this is the radiant gradients like this, and this is the linear gradient. So I have shown you the example, the linear gradients, and now it's a time to use the radial gradients, radial, so like this. And now I will show you, it's a first example of the radial gradients. So just remove comments, and using technique is same, is a WebKit, the radial the gradients, then the color percentage, red 5%, green 15%, and pink 60%. So using this technique, and this is the standard format, I have recommend you that you must use only this one, and your website will work on, your gradient will work on the all browser, I think so. So that thing, but CSS community I recommend you should use these 4 types in your, by using, if you are using the gradient. So now we are just seeing example, and you will see it's look like in the gradient, and the pink 60%, and this one, and if I've just pink 30 from 60 to 30%, so now you will see here from 30% here, from 30% and 30% set, and now you will see result here is a pink with 30% here, and other all colors should be the 15 or 5 or something else. So this is the main radial gradient. This is the radial gradient example we are just shown. So this is the repeat radial, and you will see here this is the example of the repeat radial. So it's a repeating radial gradients, and the top side is only radial gradients, but inside we are just seeing the repeating radial gradients, blue, yellow, and 10%, green, 15%. So here, so now you will see here is a repeated many times here from yellow, blue, and green. So shadow of green here, like this green, this blue, yellow, and this is the blue shadow. So this is the mostly no any programmer or community suggests you to use the radial repeat gradients in your website, but it's a part of website, it's a part of our CSS3 gradients, so that's why I will show you. Okay, and now it's a CSS shadow. So CSS shadows basically supported to add a shadow to text or elements. Shadow property has divided as follows: text shadow and box shadow. So you will see here the what is the text here, what is the shadow. So I will show you the example. Shadow. So where shadows, around corner, text shadows. So here just open here, and now we are moved here to text shadow over. So what is the CSS text? Contain the several extra features which added later to text overlay. Not here the text shadow. So the text shadow, I have shown you example the text shadow, and here the box shadow. So now I've just uncommented this one, and you will see here I have set it the H1, and from H1 to H6, and then the last one paragraph I have repeated the many lines or the many paragraph is the easyiitsolution.co.uk, my website. So I will show you that the text shadow is a 2 pixels, and inside the 2 pixels red, and this is the 3 dimension, and this is the red color text shadow and something else. So you will more understand when I will show you the what exactly it's a look like. And you will see here the text shadow, this is text shadow, and now you will see understand the how it's working. Text shadow 2 pixels and 2 pixels, and if I just set here 1 pixels from at 1 pixel, you will see here the horizontal offset is a 1 and vertical offset is a 1, but the polar radius is a none. I don't have used, and the color I have don't use, so that's why it's a by default color, but it's a 1 and 1. But when I just set from the horizontal view, I have just set the 5 pixels from horizontal offset, so you will see here it's a come from left to the right here, and if I have just use here 50, so you will see a clear difference. It's come from left to the, it's a shadow from come to the left to the right. So now I will just use here only 2% just example, and this one I have used just color but not a numerical radius, polar radius. So here you will see here not a polar radius, it's clear cut the color of the shadow of color is a red. So and second one I have just used a 5 pixels polar, and if I just read 3, so you will see here result the polar of this background red color is basically not the color, is a shadow of your text. So this one, and the third one I have used white, is a color white, and this one I have, and this H6 I have used both two type of the text shadow, like one is a red and second one is a blue. So you will see here inside the 6 color, so and this white color shadow I have used a black and pixels and dark blue here. So you will see here this the multiple color I have used, and inside the P I have used a dark blue 5 pixel polar 0 from 0. Then it's look like this. So you will see here is a background color like as a tricky or something 3 dimension look like. So you can use this type all types in your website by the text shadow. And now I have just show you how it's work on a box. So I have just created a div. And I have set the property the width of the 300 pixels, the height 100%, padding 15%, set the background color left, and the box shadow 10 by 10. So now you will see result here. So it's a color black, and it's a, but if just I set the background color where is the background color? So and now if I just set a color of a box shadow, so if I set like as a blue here, so you will see the shadow of my box is blue. And if I just set a third property like as a 50 pixels, so you will see is a blurred, a 50 pixels blurred minor shadow. So this is the basic technique by using the text box shadow or the text shadow. So I've just commented this one, and now move another series or our next slide. And CSS3 contains the several extra features which is added later on: the text overflow, word wrap, word break, and there are following the most commonly used property in CSS3: the text align last, text emphasis, text overflow, word break, word wrap. So now we will see the all example of the text like as where the text shadow, this is text, and CSS3 the text. and now you will see the result, the example of overflow. What is overflow? We are just used inside the overflow is hidden and the text overflow is a clip. So now you will see result. I have just uncomment this one and you will more understand how it's worked and what is the hidden overflow, what is the ellipsis, and what is the clip, solid color, and no wrap here. So I have just created the two classes, defined classes, text 1 from this one and the text 2 starts from here. So now I have just show you the example and you will see now this is the example here. So this is the original text I have just written here, text overflow clip. So here the text overflow is clipped and this is text overflow is called the ellipsis. So how these are working, basically the white spaces are no wrap here and white spaces are no wrap from the both our classes here. 300 pixel width, the 200 pixel I set the text 1, so this is a 200 pixel width set, this is a 300 pixel set, and after that border 1 pixel solid black, 1 solid black, and if I've just set here red, you will see here the border is red. So what is the overflow? I have just hidden the overflow, and if I have just removed this property, so you will see here now after that box it shows on our screen. So that's why I have just overflow off. It means it can't be overflow from the text, from the text side. This is the clip and this is the ellipsis, and if I just remove this one, so you will see easily that it's a can't work because of what the text flow is ellipsis, and if I just set ellipsis, you will see here it's a dot from. So this is the main difference. If I just set clip, it's whichever our width of our content or paragraph, so it can't be like as given show the continue from here or continue our text, it should be continue, or it's not end from here, but inside this it's just exit or just set your text in which your box width. So if just I said box width 202, so it shows our form F, so like this, but this text is overflow is ellipsis, so it gave you in write these 3 dots to just know you that our text is incomplete and continue inside the box. So that is the ellipsis or the. So our second thing is these properties are really not important to you, and no one can recommend you to use this property in your, but these are the part of the CSS3, so that's why we just take introduction about this. It's really these are not used in your basic or real life or anything else. So this is the text wrap here. I have just word break the key all, word break all the break the word, and I have just set example line break at hyphen, and then the sector is set on the line break at any character, and again the line break after word completion. So the third one is a class text 3 is a word break word after completion of your word is line breaks here, and break all, it means the line break at any character. It doesn't care where exactly your word is complete or not. It just break from anything, break from where your just width is complete, your box width is complete in. So that's why it's a keep all. It means a break from the hyphen. So now I will show you a result, and you will see here. Now it's a break line break from the hyphen is break from any character. So now you will see the easy IT solution originated from the idea. So easy IT solution, after this the second word it should be in the next line automatically, but by using this word you will see it's it's a keep all things. It's a break your word, and it doesn't care that your word is not complete from the origin. So it's just break your word and by your word in the second line here. So this is the line breaking line break after word completion, and these both things are same. You look like it's a comfort of the drawing room or something else. So this is the main difference in between the keep all word break, keep all, break all, and the break word. So and you will see here the break word and the text overflow we're just use in our the upside or in text flow example, and these two are not mostly used. So you should use in your just for the checking all this, but I don't think so. It's really very important. And this is the CSS3, the 2D transforms. What is the 2D transforms? 2D transforms are used to change the element structure as a translate or rotate, scale, and skew. The following table has a contain the common value which are used in 2D transform, and you will see here the matrix used to define matrix transforms with a 6 value. Number 1, n, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The first one and the first one show you it's a width of your content or your your box or something else, and second one it's a rotate from clockwise or anti-clockwise, and third one is show skew, the fourth one show the width, and the second one is the margin from left to right, and it's a margin from top to bottom. So here is the matrix. If we are using, I will show you example. It's a translate. It's from x-axis and y-axis. You transform element along with the x-axis and y-axis. Translate x is a use for along with the only x-axis. Translate y is only for the y-axis. Scale is a height of an element, width and height. Scale x is only width of element. Scale n is the only height of element. Rotate is angle of the best angle. Skew x angle used to skew transform along with the x-axis and y-axis. So this is the basic matrix, and this is the all we are used. So now we are going to just show you how it's work, and I have just show you. So I have clicked here to open here from 2D transforms. So now you will easily understand that MS transform is used for the IE Internet Explorer 9 or high. WebKit, I have already told you in previous lecture, WebKit is used for the Safari or something, and standard text syntax is like this. So now you will see how it's work, and I have just created a simple my div here and just set the width of the 300 pixels, height 100, set a color box black and border. So I've used a 2 div here but I've just said I will show you the example here. I have just my div, and but I just give the div property 300, so it applies on this one and it also applies for this one, so because they both are divs. So now you will see two boxes on our screen. Like this is an easy IT solution, and now we are just going to transform them. So is a standard syntax here. So I will just show you, and after this I am going to remove this, and this is the standard syntax here. I also and always recommend you to use standard syntax. So transform from rotate. Now you will see it's a rotate only the one side. It's a 40-degree minus, but it's a 40-degree plus we are just use, and now you will see here the result. It's a 40-degree rotate your content from the clockwise. This is the clockwise rotation, and now if just use the minus, so you will understand this anti-clockwise rotate, anti-clockwise, and this is the anti-clockwise rotation. So this is the difference. And if just I hide this one, and now I will show you the what is the skew in x-axis. It's a 20 degree from the x-axis. You will see is from x-axis 20 degrees, and if I just use a y also, so you will see here is from x and y, horizontal and vertical from the 20 degree. Now it's horizontal 20 degree and vertical 20 degree, both from the both sides is skew 20 degree. So, and the matrix, I will show you the main basic or the main thing is a matrix. So it controls the all in one here. Use the 6 values 1 2 3 4 5 6, and I have already told you that the first one matrix, first one is a just just for the width, and second one is a rotation, and third one this degree is a skew, or fourth one is the width of your content, and this is the margin height, and from margin from left to right, and this is from top to bottom. So we have just used one by one and get the result. So now I will show you first of all the result of you will see here, this is the result of here now this matrix. So this is basically the width, and if I just set the width of matrix as 0, so it will hide from your screen. Okay, so you should be set at least the 1 of your width, and this is the rotation, this is the skew. If just I said this 0, so you will see here it's a no skew. So not from the x-axis, not from the y-axis. So this is the height of your, basically this is the rotation I have told you. So if you are just want a rotation, you just said this is the 20 here, and you will see the 20, not the degree basically. So it's a 20, and if just I said it's 20, I think it's a too high value of for your, and you will see here it's a rotation, and from, if I just minus 0.5, and now you will see the result. Yeah, it's a look like better than. So it's a minus 0.5, it's a 50, I think it's a 1 is 100 in the 50% rotation from anti-wise clock, and if I set a plus value, so you will see is the clockwise rotation. So yeah, this is for the skew, this is from the height. If you height, if you set height 0, so it will remove from your or hidden from your screen, so it must be 1 for your width, and this is the 50 from left to right, and if I've just set is 0, so you will see now first of all I've set is 50 to show my content, and now I will set is 0. So just demonstrate you, it comes or it starts from here. Now you will see look like this. So this is the margin from left to right, and if I just set 50 to 0, you will see it come over your first content. Yeah, exactly here. So this is the margin basically. I have set a 50 or 40 and 50 here just for your content from left to right and top to bottom. So this is the matrix, and this is your 2D transforms, and your 2D transform is complete. So here our 2D transmission is completed, and now we are moved to our next slide, and it's a CSS3 transmission. So using with the 3D transforms, it's a 3D transform. So using with the 3D transforms, we can move element to x-axis, y-axis, and now it's a z-axis. So in our previous slide I will show you, so in 2D transforms we can move or scale or rotate our elements only in a two direction, x-axis and a y-axis, like this translate x and translate y. But here a new property introduced called the z-axis. So because we are using the 3D transform, so that's why the below example clearly specify how the elements will rotate. So this is the matrix, and the use transforms to eliminate by using the matrix. We have 16 values of a matrix, so the 16 numbers of matrix. So here the translate 3D, translate scale and rotate in any angle. So we are moving to our example here, example of the rotate 3D transforms. I have created a simple div, and inside a div I have just linked on my website, and another div created I have just assigned an ID like as a my div, and in the my div I have passed a simple syntax, standard syntax like as a transform, and transform rotate x on the 0 degree. Now it's on the standard value, or 0 degree is by default value. And the div I have given a property of div 200 pixel width, 100 pixel height, background color pink and solid. So let's start how it will look like. We are just checking it. Here you will see here that but this box and this box, basically both boxes are the same. Why? Because I set the transforms property, transform selector to property like as a rotate x, and assign a value to the properties like a 0 degree. So if just I say that it's a like is a 20 degree, so now you will see the box is now in the moving position to the opposite direction. So here, and so if I just say that it's a 60 degree, so now you will see the result. Basically it's moving in the opposite direction, and if I just write down, assign a value of the 90 degrees, so it's a completely height, because 90 degree you will understand it's a common or a straight line of 90 degree. So when I set it the 90 degree, so it's hide from the screen and doesn't show. But here is also is a box, and when I cross 90 degree, it's a 90 degree basically is a fourth of the 360 degrees, so the fourth part or the second half part of the 180 degrees. So the if I just rotate 110, and now you will see result is a move in the opposite direction, it's a rotate. Yeah, easy IT solution will come, but in the opposite direction. So if I just give it the 180 degrees, so the size now both boxes will be same, but the text location will be rotated in x-axis. You will see here. Now the both boxes are same, but the rotate our text or our box rotate from in the x-axis direction, the 180 degree. So here is the basically the rotation. And if I have just give you the y-axis, and now you will see the result. My text will rotate, but not from the x-axis, but it's the y-axis. Y. So here is the, and if I have assign a property of the z-axis, and now you will see my result is showing here, because it completely directed in 3 dimension. It is a z-axis, is x-axis, y, and x is a combo of the y and x. So that's why. So here are the 3D transforms, and having many properties like translate, scale. So you should try it yourself by one checking just how it's a impact on our element. So what exactly impact occurs on our element. So that's why I have just given you a short introduction. So here is the 3D transforms, and Mm, these are not, we are using in our websites, like more in CSS or WC3 or CSS teams also doesn't recommend you to use these type of complicated things in your website or web pages. So now we are moving the CSS animation, and believe me, the many of my viewers just waiting for this, that the CSS 3D animation. So what are the CSS animations? An animation lets an element gradually change from one style to another style or another. So you can change as many CSS property you want, as many times you want. And the third one, to use CSS animation, you must first specify some keyframes for the animation, and the last one, the keyframes hold what styles the element will have at a certain times. So here's the short introduction of animation in CSS3. And now it's main important thing, add the red keyframes rule. So when you specify the CSS styles inside the add the red keyframes rules, the animation will gradually change from the current style to the new style at the certain time. To get an animation to work, you must bind the animation to an element like s. So we are now moving and see the CSS animation properties. The following table is of keyframes rules and CSS animation properties. So here is the clear thing, and now we are moving and see what exactly how it looks like when we are using to CSS animation. So here I have already said many examples for you in this. This is a color change animation like as. So what exactly it looks like? First of all, we have taken introduction. We have taken demo, and we have run and see what exactly it looks like. So sorry for my bad response. So I have just clicked here, and now you will see the color change animation. The animation color change from red to blue. So now here is an important thing. We just see the animation name, specify the name of the keyframe of animation. So here I have just set a name as a color changer, and the duration of completion of animation is a 4 second. And here is important thing, I just set it the keyframes of color changer is my animation name. And now I set it from background color red to background color blue. So it changed from red to blue. So the animation is exactly that, doing that from red to blue. And if I said that it's red is a red to like as a black. So now you will see the color change from red to black. So red to red black in the 4 second animation. So the main thing is the following example binds animation and to the div element animation about the 4 seconds and will gradually change the background color for div element from red to black or red to some like as any color you want to just change. Just give it the name and you will see. And in the second thing, we have just set it the multicolor change, and the animation duration property defines here. I have already told you that defines animation duration defines how long the time of animation should take to complete. And if animation duration property is not specified, no animation will occur because its default value is 0. So we must put any property of the assign any value to our animation duration if we are just want to run our. And here the some another example. In example, the following example will change the background color of div element when the animation is completed 25%, 50%, and 100%. So you will see here I have just set it not from and to, I have set it only the percentage here, and here I have written a code or a multicolor changer. And now you will see here that if our animation is completed starts from 0%, its color should be red, and it's complete when the 25%, so its color changed from red to yellow, and when it's arrived from 20 to 50% is a change in blue, and 75% is black, and when it's on 100% complete, change color grew from red to green. And now you will see here example, it changed the color 1 2 3 4 5, red, yellow, blue, black, and green. Red is here, red, then yellow, then blue, then black, and then green finally. So the multi-color changer animation. And if you want to just add like as on the 65%, you add a more color or you add a more property like as from blue to the pink, and from blue to the pink. So here's the pink color, and now you save this and run, and now it's a 1 2 3 4 5 6 from red, yellow, blue, then pink, then black, red, yellow, blue, then pink, then black, and then green finally. So here our example is we are just seeing the multicolor changer. So the animation is really very amazing. You know, in the CSS, the part of the CSS3 and it's your web pages. By using this, your web pages is more designed and the more standard and the more beautiful looks and more beautiful. So that's why it's really very nice, and it's also recommended by CSS team to use elements in your web pages. So here I have set it the move box 4 sides and change the color animation. So here's the 2D dimension. First one, the color change, and second animation we have run to the box move the four sides. So I have set div colors of 100 pixel right and width and height, and set the background color as by default red. Position is more important relative. So if you are skip my previous lecture or my previous CSS part for the beginners, so you should go over my previous lecture and first complete my previous CSS beginners course. So I have told in define the more details in my previous lectures what the positions and how it does work. So relative, I set the position, animation name is a box move, and animation duration again 7. Here I added the animation delay. So animation delay the for 2 seconds, it means when I run my page and after running it's completed, or it's browsing or suffering completed. It's after 2 seconds my program or my animation will run or execute. So from key side, here I added the two main things. At the from key side I have set at the background color red, but I have set at the left and top. So left and top, basically the two properties of margin. So the left and top, I have set it left 0%, it means here 0% left, and top 0%, it means top 0, and left 0 is the left and top corner. And then is moved from the left side 400 pixels, but top from 0. So just look at my arrow, this is the mouse cursor. So it moves from here like as a 0 0, this is the left 0, top 0. And now in the second part unto 25%, it's a move from the left side 400 pixel, but it's still in the left on top. So like box like move this, and then in the 50% complete box for 400, so this is the left hand side 400 pixels, but now in the here the 50% is also top for the 400 pixels. So move from the top menu, so 400 pixels like this, and then in the 75% left 0 and top 100, so left 0 and top 100, and then left 0 and top 0, so it comes here. So here is a basic thing, you know it's a. So let's start and let's see how it looks like, and change color on the property like this, and red, yellow, blue, green, and red again. So now I have just give you a demo like this, and you will see after 2 seconds it's moved the 4 sides, you know it's complete. After 2 seconds it's a move from 400 pixels, 400, 400, 0 and 0, 0. So I have show you already. So it's all thing, and if I just set it this 200 pixels and from the left hand side, so you will see now, see it's moved like from here only, okay, and then 400, then 200, and then 400 back. So here, and another property is like iteration. I have just show you there animation iteration count. So it's basically the count duration of your animation, like as I have just selected 3 count. So now my animation will run the 3 times only in a single time refresh. Now I have show you it's a first round complete and start second. This is the second round complete and start for third, and this is the third round complete and now it stops. And after my refresh, before my refresh it can't be work, and but I refresh this, it's a wait for 2 seconds and then replay for 3 times again. So here is the basic animation iteration count work. So I have just comment this one, and now is example for the timing duration or the timing function basically. So the timing animation timing function property specifies the speed curves of the animation. The animation timing function property can have a following or the value like this. The first one is ease, ease specify the animation with a slow start, then fast, and then slowly. It's by default. And second one is the linear like this, or the first one the linear specify the animation with the same speed from start to end. It's linear from start to end. And then it's a ease in, ease specify the animation with a slow start, and ease out specify an animation with a slow end. And ease in and ease out specify the animation with a slow start and end. So here we are just see the example. I have set example for you, and this is the basically time. This is the basically the animation timing function linear. So I have just set it example for you, and like this I have just refreshed, and you will see it's a linear ease in, ease out, and ease out. And again see some our animations are start from you know, as I've told you, the first one is linear specify animation with the same speed from start to end. So this is the linear from start to end, it's the same speed. But the second one is ease from specifies the animation with a slow start and fast end slowly. So starts fast and ends slowly. So and the third one is animation with slow start, ease in, and the last one ease out specifies animation with slow end. Slow end, ease in out specify animation with a slow end and slow start and slow end. So basically here is the some example I have set at you, and hope you will easily understand if you are just doing practice more and more. So keep practice with the animation. So this is the really very nice effect, but without using the jQuery and interpreter of the JavaScript. It's more uh, uh, it's a look like in your web page is a more friendly CSS animation as compared to the jQuery. So that's why it's recommended by the programmer or designers that you must use this. And now I've set it the example of the reverse move. And what is the reverse move? I have show you. I have to, so in this basically function in this program, I have set it the specify animation like as a timing linear and infinite, iteration count infinite, and animation direction like this. So here we'll just see that how much it should look like. I think something relative linear example for reverse move. Okay, so I see how to look like, and it's reverse come back. So it's continue playing. You see that I have just changed the duration of 5 seconds, delay 2 seconds, timing linear function, animation timing function is linear, set as iteration counts infinite. And if I have just said is a 2 times, so it's only working the 2 times. After my refreshing is like as a 1, it's complete the 2 times. So but if I set the infinite, so it's a continuously move. That's the direction of alternative. And if I've set reverse direction, so it's start from reverse side. It's reverse side and then it run. So here's the technique. I have set it on the red one is left 0 and top 0 like this. Same technique we are seen our previous like the time function or the 4-side move box. But inside here I have animation direction. Select the animation direction here. So that's why it's a more look like it's a more beautiful and it's a more professional. So here we have completed our animation part here, and now we are moving to the user interface. Here's the really very the important thing, that the user interface, basically the user interface property allows you to change any element into one of several standard user interface elements. Some of the common properties which are using appearance, box sizing, icon resizing, outline offset, nav down, nav left, nav right, nav up. So here's the descriptions of all things. And now I have just show you the 2 example like as an example of the resize property. So I have just uncomment this and will show you how it's look like here. I have just selection toggle comment, and now you will see I have just make I have just created a div here. Inside the div, my channel name, I have 2 channels, the IT solution and technical Vakas. So here and the div, inside the div, my border, I have selected border 2 pixels, solid border, padding 20 pixels, 300 width size of and resize I have selected both overflows auto. So now we are just moving and see how it will look, and you will see here. And now inside I have changed the box size from both sides, you will see here. So here is the technique, the box size, I have resized the box size of div size basically. But if I have just set it the both, not for the both side, I have set the just horizontal, and now you will see result. It's only can allow me to change the horizontal width, but not I have just clicked at the down, but it doesn't allow me. So, and if I have set the vertical resizing like as a vertical, so you will see, so it allows me only for the vertical resizing, not for the horizontal. So this is the box sizing interface, the box size and resize, not the box size, it's a resize. I have used a resize property here. So I have just commit this one, and again it's an outline offset, and you will see the result of the outline offset and what how it's working for the outline like is outline offset. So the outline means I draw a line around the element or outside of your border. So for show this example I have set the box border of the 5 pixel, and then around after the border around the line the border I have set the 5 pixel of green line of outline. So now you will see here the hair is, now you will see here is the two boxes basically. This is the color of my border of my div, and this is the color of my outline green one. So as is a mention here, the outline is a solid 5 pixel green, the border 5 pixel solid pink. So the pink is the border and green is the outline. But here I have set the padding inside and the margin here. So in my previous CSS beginners or course for the CSS beginners, so I have told in define in details that the margin is the content, the whole content, and it moves the content in your page, but the padding inside the content the spaces. So the margin, if I have just select the 50, you will see the all borders like as my border outline will move from this side and in my web page. So it's a margin from 4 sides. So this is the margin, and if I've just increase the padding, so now you will see it increases, padding increases basically the size or increases spaces in my border and my outline. So you will see my increases spaces from the content and my border. And if I just show you that the border outline offset, and if I set this one 40 pixels, so it increase the size or increase the spaces in my border in and my outline. So here you will see the results there. So that's why I have just set the margin of the 50 or say here. So here is the really very easy things to just do this. You will just try guys in your home and get a more practice for just understand the box resizing, our next topic. And the box resizing property using to change the height and width of the element. So now you will see I have just given a small introduction of the box sizing that and show you the result of the box sizing here. Now you will see the box sizing, basically the both elements are same the div property, because I have set two classes here. The div 1 set the 300 pixel and div 2 the 300 pixel, height 100, solid blue and solid red. Only the thing is here only the basic, the both properties elements properties the same, so that's why. But if I have set a padding here, padding here the 20 pixels, and now you will see here it moves my content from here, but not the my size change of, because I have set at the box sizing bordered. But if I set at the content box here, so you will see it it resize my box size also. So it's padding added to my box size. So this is the main difference, the box border box and the content box. But if I have set it here like as a padding 20 pixels, like same, 20 pixel padding here, 20 pixel padding here, but it can't be resize my box size. It only move my content inside the box here. So this is the box sizing, and it's a really very, it's not so useful, but the sizing is a useful item inside this. So now we are move our another like as a CSS user interface. So the CSS user interface example, of resize property user interface. This is the user interface, and this is box resize property. I think it's my mistake here. So I have just already take introduction about what's the resize, what the outline offset. So now we are moving to our another is a CSS responsive. So CSS responsive web designs, basically the responsive web pages or web designs provides an optimal experience, easy to reading and easy navigation with a minimum of resizing on different devices such as desktop, mobile and tabs. So this is the responsive structure basically. And now we are just take introduction about this one. We are just commit this part, and now I will show you a flexible grid demo. So first of all, I have just uncommit this one body and here and uncommit this one. So inside now you will see I have created a container class, and then container 75%, then container 50%, and it's a flexible grid demo, like it's a responsive structure I have just show you. Right click this on the browser and you will see there's a section white container of the 100%, section aside, and white container, so 75% white container with this 50% container white here. So here, and it's a responsive, then it's in any device. Like I will go to inspect this, how it's looks like in mobile here. So in Mozilla Firefox, I have clicked to the chest or press the by Q button, and now I have just clicked at the mobile view, and now you will see I have just click here the many things or many devices I have selected, like as a Galaxy Note 3 and Galaxy S5, then how it's look like in S9, S Plus. So now it's look like in S9 Galaxy. So it's this because it's a responsive, and if an iPhone X or X is like this, it's a Nexus like this, and tab which shows Note 3 like this, and also you rotate your screen. Or and if you are add more list, you just click add here, edit list, and you will see here the more options will appear. And if you are just click the device Nexus X5 5X, so now it's appear here the Nexus 5X here Android 7. So it's a responsive design, and responsive means that it's a responsive structure is here inside. I will show you it's a responsive web design, responsive web design here basically. So, and in our last thing is is a media queries. Basically the media queries for different styles, rules, and I will show you example of the media query and how it's a work like this. So I have just commit this section, and now I can uncommit this section. So this is the media screen. I have set a light pink background here in my body, and inside the body I have created 1 pixel, and inside I have just instructed the @media screen and a max with a 520. The body color should change from light pink to the light blue. And now if the screen size is less than a 520 pixels, then it will show the light blue color, or else it will show the light pink color. So let's see and look like how it's look. And now you will see our screen size is a greater than 520 pixels, so it color show the light pink color here. But if I've just resized, and you will see now it changed. When I resize this, it changed because this is the less than 520 pixels. So this is basically work of media screen. I have set it, and if I have set it here the 720, so now you will see I have moved here like this, and now it's when it's greater than 700 pixels, then it's changed color. So this is the media query. And the last one thing is a bootstrap. So what is the bootstrap? And inshallah we will discuss in our in our next lecture, and I will make a video on the detail of the boot and how it's a work, what is the bootstrap. But here we are just taking introduction or see. It's a really very easy to just learn, and it's more not more complicated, but it's more easy than using the CSS. So inside the bootstraps are many classes, or the many classes are already defined by the bootstraps team. So this is the using like this. I will show you a result and show you how it will change. And now you will see here our text color is a blue. Why? Because I have set it the text color, the text primary means the blue color, and if just I said info, so it means a yellow one, I think. So not a yellow, but if I have just select here the danger, so danger means the color should your text color is red, so here's the red. And if just I say success, so it's a green color by default here. So here is the technique. Basically the BG background color success with the green and something. This is the default, or this is the user defined classes inside the CSS. So here I have just added the bootstrap link in for using this, and the viewport content with devices initial scale 1 is a meta tag properties in just using CSS. So inside the second Android I have table border, and you will see here the table border inside my Android. And this is guys, this is the default classes we are using. If we are using just display like a display 2, the box, not a display 2, but if I just select the text, capitalize, center, text, danger, hide, info, just the lower class. So now you will see the converted to the lower class. All text my like as Android from start from A to companies, it's all the letters will be small from the Android, and you will see here Android all small. So like this is predefined classes, thousands of classes predefined inside of this CSS. So we will inshallah discuss in detail in our next lecture I have just made on especially on the Bootstrap. So, and then we will continue our Bootstrap and design a website and web pages designed with the help of Bootstrap and CSS, because our CSS course is complete. Now you will, I guaranteed you that after watching this my video, you will be in good hand the CSS, and you are now able to make a web page, a beautiful web page, a website, and by using these techniques and CSS. So okay, and now it's a congratulations, you have completed the CSS advanced course. Thank you for watching. Subscribe our channel. Basically I have two channels. One, I have two channels, Easy IT Solution and Technical Vakas. Thank you for watching.